As Pepperell states, first humans had God, humans, and nature. Then the rationalists dispensed with God, leaving humans in perpetual conflict with nature. The post-humanists dispensed with humans, leaving only nature. Nature meaning all phenomena, human-made or otherwise. The distinction between God, nature, and humanity does not represent any eternal truth about the human condition. It merely reflects the prejudices of the societies that maintain the distinctions. Clifford Geertz writes that one of religion's main purposes must be to affirm that life is not chaos. And Irving Sandler adds that conceptions of class, gender, and race are fictions, constructed by social agencies, such as religious groups, whose purpose it is to safeguard the status quo. Such fictions are assumed to be the natural order. Foucault states the problem is not changing people's consciousness, but rather the political, economic, institutional regime of the production of truth. Neusner says that from 1700 to the present, Christianity wrestles for dominance with the rise of nationalism in science. Protestant extremists claim the Bible articulates fundamentals which govern human existence, and the Roman Catholic Church still maintains the idea of papal infallibility, which is that the Pope speaks truth of the Church without error. In both of these cases, the attempt is made to establish an axiom of reason that reason itself may not challenge. As stated in Wajibu, there is an innate rigidity to religious structures as they tend to be particularly resistant to change. Wajibu puts a hard fist on the table about the very existence of a God when they write that in any society, it is a small step from saying, "This is the way things are," to saying, "This is how things are meant to be," or even, "This is how God made things." McKinney states that reality is not decreed, it is perceived. The world humans perceive and believe in is a virtual reality, product of a process. Neuroscientist Dr. Michael Persinger has located the area in the brain where he can consistently induce states of experience that have previously been termed religious, spiritual ecstasy. Using mild electrical neurological stimulation, Persinger induces visions and experiences that describe as deep, unperturbed bliss, pure, undistracted consciousness, hearing the voice of the divine, and visions, a whole variety of sensations previously only attributed to religion and God connection. Psychologist David Wolfe states that because spiritual experiences are so similar and consistent across cultures, across time, and across faiths, and that it suggests a common core that is likely a reflection of inherent structures and processes in the human brain. McKinney adds that the understanding that humans have of reality is personal, a virtual reality of the human's own making from deeply individual experiences. McKinney also states there can be no question of where humans are all going, because humans can project only into their own personal future. Humans each have a unique personal mind, a personal past that nobody knows, and a future that is theirs alone. He draws the conclusion that in neurotheological terms, there is no provable time but the present moment. There is a pattern sequencing in the mind to conceptualize past, present, future. And with such repetitive practices as mantra, repetition, or meditation, this pattern sequencing is shut down. And when that happens, meaning vanishes. Memory, as McKinney states, memory is the mother of meaning. Our feelings, which accompany our various states of mind, reflect hormonal levels resulting from our brain's reactions to both our external and internal stimulation. The more neural activity humans generate in response to perception, the more humans feel excited or aroused. Repetition alone expands the neural nets ever wider, creating both new associations and deeper reactions to repeated perceptions. Meditation practice and mantra repetition can create reality and feelings not associated with the daily interruptions of life, but associated with quiet times of emotional and mental peace. Now to us it's all kinds of real, but it's no more than perception, hormones, and patterns. What then happens to the all-knowing, all-judging external God? With neuroscientists touting the dizzying possibilities of extending the lifespan of the human to unknown limits, creating the complete replication of body organs, both biological and mechanical, expanding the mental capability via computer network integration, and even transferring consciousness into a non-human entity. Neuroscientists and post-humanist theorists have not only dissolved the last remnants of reliance on attributing what is unknown to an external myth phantasm defined as God, they have also taken the discussion to a point that dissolves fixation on the belief in what has been known as a solid reality. When humans have realized that their perception lives in a virtual reality that uniquely determines responses to environments, they have gone beyond holding on to pre-neurological, cultural, religious, and societal norms. Pepperell asserts that the general implication is that humans can never determine the absolute boundary of the human, either physically or mentally. The neurological activity of the human system is a grand, interrelated, interdependent equanimity of operation. The individual develops a particular pattern through unique responses to experiences within a cultural construct. This particular individuality is a personal virtual reality of self-creating and self-sustaining emotions, feelings, and hormonal responses developed through the lifespan of the individual. Therefore, the potential exists not only to dissolve the societal created limits of individuality, but also, through advances in technology and science, to dissolve the very limits of the definition of life. For each human, the meaning of life's work of art, as offered by each human, is indeed as true as any other. God then fades into an antiquated myth of human creation, fraught with diverse and transitory cultural boundaries that arise out of the lack of knowledge of scientific-based realization of biologic and physiologic activity. God is art, a human creation, a human fabrication, a quilt to lay over blank areas of understanding and give cultural-based comfort to humans living under the anxieties of the unknown. For humans, the real art to personally attend to be familiar with, to expand with repetitive inquiry, is consciousness itself, pure perception. And that alone is infinite.
Dira-dira, dira-dira, dira.